Alright, my name is Jimmy Duff. I'll be taking you through this slideshow presentation. We'll talk about a few pieces of art. The first one will be Lamentation by Giotto. He was a Italian painter, and he painted this painting in 1305. This painting currently is located at the Sagani Chapel in Italy. And this painting shows the moments after Christ was taken down from the cross, and it means mourning. So the subjects of this painting will be Christ's followers, Christ himself, the angels as they mourn, and then also his mom Mary as well. You can also see this is Mary Magdalene. She's at his feet. I don't know if you can see it in this picture right here, but attention is, of course, drawn to Christ, and then you see everyone's disbelief and sadness over his death. And also, even with the angels, you see all of them are reacting differently. Some have their hands up, some are, just reacting differently. So those are be the subjects of it. And then the style of it, Giotto, he pioneered a new form of art called realism. This picture is a dramatic departure from the traditional one flat imagery seen before his time. Second piece of work that we'll look at is Donatello's sculpture of David. This was made between 1430 and 1440, and then Donatello was an Italian sculptor. The subject of the sculpture will be David himself, and then also Goliath. In the sculpture, David is standing on top of Goliath's head after he kills him in battle. And you can see Goliath has his helmet on. This was the first nude sculpture since the ancient Greek and Roman times. As you see, he is stepping over the head. Also, David represents the city of Florence, and then Goliath will represent the Duke of Milan, which both need a guide to help them win their battles. David is Florence, and then Goliath is the Duke of Milan. The style of this sculpture, let me see. So if you look to see, the statue has a relaxed pose. He's standing on top of the head, but it looks as if he could take a step forward. Donatello created this by using a lost wax casting method that was known to be used by the ancient Greeks. This was made out of bronze, copper, and tin, and then it was also hollow on the inside. And this was also created over 600 years ago. The next one we'll look at will be Peter Rubens' Elevation of the Cross. This painting was created by Peter Rubens in 1610. You'll see this is the moment, or the moments where they try to put Christ onto the cross. The subjects in this one, you of course are drawn to Christ himself being put onto the cross. Then also the men, and they're looking as if they're struggling, trying to put him on there. You also see the women and people, they look scared and horrified as well of it. And the thing I like most about it is how all the men have huge bulging muscles. This was definitely a very detailed painting. One of the guess like one of the most powerful moments of the picture, or one of the most powerful things in the picture, is the look that Christ gives as he looks up to the sky, looking as if he's asking God to forgive them, for they do not know what they do. And then the style, this painting was important to the Catholic Church, where Peter was commissioned, or who commissioned him to paint this. It was done to replace art that was lost in the Counter-Reformation. It's a heroic painting, but it has a grotesque and damning effect on it as well. The Catholic Church wanted to reinforce its ideals of spirituality and faithfulness. The next painting we'll look at will be Rembrandt's The Anatomy Lesson of Dr. Tulip. This was created in 1632. The subjects in this one will be, of course, the doctor, and then he's teaching an anatomy class on a cadaver. You can see that the focus is on the doctor, and then also the 7 students in the background. The anatomy was the study or the beginning of science. And this painting was definitely deemed to be very serious and intellectual. The style of this painting was very Baroque. It was a Baroque style. It represents the political, religious, and economic views of the time. Next one we'll look at will be The Oath of the Herati. This is probably my favorite one that we'll look at today. Created by Jacques Louis David. It was created in 1784. One of the first things that you'll notice about the picture is the sword that's being held. These 3 men here are the Herati brothers. They have been selected to fight for Rome as they get ready for battle with Alba. So instead of having the 2 countries go to war, the country selected 2 families to battle it out. 3 brothers versus 3 brothers, and these are the ones that will represent Rome. This is their father. You also see in this one as well that you see the women are distraught and don't want their family to go to war. The thing about this painting was that the family they were fighting against was married to this family, so it was like intermarriage. So no matter who won this war, someone was going to lose, or both families were going to lose because someone was going to die. And the style for this one, give me one sec. So this one definitely gives it a classical feel for its time. This painting was painted before the French Revolution, but it was a iconic painting for the French Revolution, even though the French Revolution didn't start until 1789. They used this as their kind of like an image to rally behind. The brothers are united. They're ready to defend each other and also their country. So that's why it's viewed as such an iconic painting for the time. The next painting that we will look at is Manet's Olympia. It was created by the French painter Edouard Manet. It was created in 1863. One of the first things you'll probably notice about this picture, just kidding, hold on a second. First thing you'll probably notice about this is that it's of a naked woman who at the time is, or is called Olivia. Olivia was a name of a lot of prostitutes, or a common name for prostitutes at the time in Paris. This one gives you a sense of realism, but also with a modern twist. It was based off another painting that we'll look at in just a moment. A lot of people say that this is a painting of a real woman because it shows her imperfections. One of the things that a lot of people pointed out was the thin lips that the model had. And then kind of compare it to Titan's Venus, where this is more of a ideal picture, kind of like the image of how women wanted to look, and then this is what they really looked like. Can't really see it on here, but she kind of had like dirty hands. She had like a black tint to her hands in this picture as well. The importance of this painting was that Monet, he challenged it was a modern painting, but Monet tried to define the true definition of beauty with this one. All right, and then the two pictures that we'll look at side by side will be the Lamentation and then the Elevation of the Cross. Kind of first thing you kind of really notice about the two, they both depict Jesus or Christ. One is when he's going up, and then the second one is moments after he comes down. So of course that's one of the similarities between the two. Both artists use emphasis to draw the viewer, or diagonal emphasis to draw the viewer's eyes to cross. So here, one of the first things you know is that Christ is being put up onto the cross, and then you notice all the details around it, the men and things of that nature, the look on Christ's face. In the Lamentation, when you originally look at it, you see that Christ is down from the cross, and then you see his mother Mary grieving. You see Mary at the feet, and then you also see these two figures with their back turned, and they're placed there just for the fact that it just draws you over to Christ and the mourning going on. And then differences between the two. In Lamentation, the mood is sadness. It's very sad. Everyone's very distraught. Can't see it in this picture, but even the angels are very distraught and heartbroken by what happened. And in the Elevation of the Cross, the mood is a lot of energy. The men are struggling to get the cross on there. Other people are reacting, probably screaming out of horror and out of being frightened of what they're seeing. So even though they're both of the same person, definitely two different feels to the two paintings. All right, and that's all I have for you. Thank you.